Welcome back to the Auto Obsessive Garage. Chadwick with you again for yet another auto experience. Now, if you're new to the experience, let me walk you through what the format is. We start off by me talking about the car for a little bit, in car, driving around. I'll usually go into the history of the car, the make, the model, and then the history about the specific car I am reviewing. So that's kind of cool. After that, we do have some tests lined up. We're going to do some objective tests, acceleration, braking, curb weight. So that's really cool. And then subjective tests follow that up, in which case we look at, the dynamics of the vehicle, the handling, the exterior, interior, engine, drivetrain, that kind of fun stuff. And then we end it all with a conclusion. So please stay tuned. We'll get through all that together. It'll be a good time, probably. Back to the car at hand. We are in a 1994 Mercury Tracer LTS. Now that LTS designation is very important, but just to take it back to base level, a Tracer is really just a four-door Escort. It's badge engineering. It's the same exact car, which is the exact same car as the Mazda Protege 323. So they all share that same chassis and everything. Now, what's special about the LTS is that it gets the spicy power plant, guys. And that spicy power plant is a Mazda-built 1.8-liter BP engine. That's the same engine you're going to get in the 1.8 Protege 323, and you're going to get it in the Escort GT from the early 90s. So great engine. More than likely, you know that engine from the Mazda Miata, the 1.8s. So exact same engine. Pretty cool. They jammed it in a family sedan. And that is cool, right? That's probably the coolest thing about the car. 5-speed manual in this one is what makes it really rare. Now, Mercury Tracer LTSs are a pretty rare car, honestly, overall. In the 10 years I've been looking for one, I've seen 3. And 2 of them have been for sale. One was at a grocery store when I had my Escort GT, so I took that cool photo parking next to it. I was probably the only one in the world that thought that was a cool photo, but hey, I made it happen. After that, I did search. I found this one for sale, scooped it up for a good price. Pretty far from home, but worth the trip. It had been in the care of a family for 24 years. So big stack of service records. The mileage is insane on this model, 260,000 miles, so over the 250,000 club for sure. The big reason behind that is the daughter in the family, over 24 years, she actually grew up, obviously, but this was her car during college, and she commuted all the way from Grass Valley, which is way north of Sacramento. I'm sorry for those of you that don't know California geography, but let me lay a little geospatial out for you. So she would commute all the way to Monterey, which is quite a ways down the coast. So that put on the mileage significantly. So that's where we're at. But it also kept the car in good maintenance because relying on their daughter to get to school and being safe, the family and the daughter just kept the car running well. And I have a big stack of service records where they went to their local garage to get just about everything fixed. And that's so cool. So that came with the car. And again, the only other one I saw for sale was an automatic. I feel in general, 90% of these cars came with automatics, the LTSs, which is a shame. That gearbox really takes the fun out of it. But when you can get it with this 5-speed manual, don't pass it up, guys. It's a fun little car. It's basically like having a Miata-powered small family sedan, which is cool, right? I mean, the handling's okay. We're going to find that out in a little bit. Acceleration's pretty good, but it's a fun, playful engine. I mean, redline at 7,000. Can't beat that kind of stuff. So cool. Yeah, 127 ponies. Don't think I mentioned that. Torque is somewhere right around there too. So not a monster vehicle in the spec department, but nonetheless pretty cool for its time and a lot of fun. So without further ado, my friends, let's take this rare performance version of an Econobox through the objective tests. See you there. We've got the Tracer LTS up on the scales. Let's get this curb weight and front and rear balance. At just over 2,500 pounds, the Tracer LTS came in about 100 pounds heavier than my Escort GT, which makes sense because it has an additional 2 doors, sunroof, and additional power features. The Tracer LTS also has a 62-38 front-rear weight balance, which is very common for a front-engine, front-wheel drive vehicle from this era.
Let's get the not so shiny characteristics for handling out of the way first for the Tracer LTS. Steering is much like it was in my Escort GT. There's a little bit of dead space off center, which does cause you to start your initial steering inputs a little earlier, but you adjust to that. It also has the steering phenomenon where you need to input more steering halfway through a corner. It's an interesting feeling, but a lot of slower racks from the early 90s on sporty-ish cars had this similar phenomenon. Again, something you can get used to. Now for the positives. The Tracer LTS does have a very low curb weight of just over 2,500 pounds. This makes it quite nimble. Directional changes are rather swift. Acceleration is commendable given its horsepower rating, and braking also benefits from this low curb weight. It's a very fun car to drive in a 7/10 full spirit meter kind of way. The Tracer LTS wears its performance version designation loudly and proudly. The bright Calypso metallic paint, although it has certainly seen better days, still stands out. The LTS also receives red trim around the exterior, and a very 90s check-the-box variety spoiler, as well as a front lower chin spoiler with vented bumper. And you can't miss the bright red LTS badge, to show that it's not here to play games. The front light bar, although fake in this application, looks great and is the Mercury designed corporate feature of the time. Overall, the Tracer LTS has aged pretty well. Headlights and taillights still look fantastic. And the slim profile of the car still hints towards its sporty overall image. The standout feature of this particular Tracer LTS is its interior's condition. With over 260,000 miles on the clock, it's amazing how this Econobox's interior still looks this good. The seats are not torn or displaying worn bolsters. In fact, the seats feel great and they look fantastic still. The dash is also in great condition with no cracks to be seen. This is exceptionally rare on a car from this period with this many miles. The steering wheel also threw me off at first. It looks like it's a much more modern-ish, early to mid-2000s design. If you were to tell the Tracer LTS to shake its moneymaker, it would vibrate its 1.8-liter dual overhead cam engine. The reason being is that this is the same sporty power plant found in the Escort GT and Mazda Miata, two quite enjoyable cars. Dropping a 7,000 RPM redline power plant is a surefire way to pep up a small family sedan, and the Tracer LTS revels in this. It's an extremely fun power plant with great aftermarket support and a proven track record of reliability. With decent power comes decent responsibility to also have a competent gearbox. Tracer LTS doesn't let anyone down in this department. A Mazda-sourced 5-speed manual is a rare option, as most of these vehicles came, tragically, with an automatic. The gearbox doesn't mind being rushed through the gears and being engaged at the 7,000 RPM redline repeatedly. It really allows the 1.8 application in this case to shine, and this is what really makes the LTS a fantastic sporty sedan. Remember affordable sporty sedans? And is the Tracer LTS one of them? 4 doors and fun can get pretty pricey in today's automotive landscape. But in the 90s, there were some budget examples floating around. The Tracer LTS achieved its sportiness through a lightweight chassis paired with a peppy engine. At just over $12,000 MSRP, the Tracer LTS really brought a lot of budget-friendly performance to the table. It provided all the power options sought after at the time, and finished off the package with some rad design touches. Not to mention, reliability was baked in, as this was a Mazda product for the most part. The truly affordable sporty sedan may be dead in today's automotive market, but the Tracer LTS keeps the memory alive and presents one heck of a good time to dollar ratio for the lucky owner who can find one of these rare machines.